Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our 8th grade technology class. This is week 10. And so let's see, this week we are into our second quarter. So last week we had our first assignment in the second quarter. It was our career clusters activity where you had to fill in the Google Doc with your top 3 clusters and then choose one and choose a career and then put in the technology skills that you need for that career. We're going to be continuing with that and doing a separate assignment, but it's connected to it. So you do need to have that assignment done to be able to complete the assignment that you're doing this week. But before we get started with our lesson for this week, you're typing, so you will have a weekly typing lesson again for second quarter. And this week it is shift key and capitalization. So I'm going to give you guys that assignment. So that will be due next week. So this is for the week of 11-16. It's the shift key and capital. So please make sure, keep up with your weekly typing. Don't get behind. It's an easy 100 if you do it. Okay, so let's move on to what we're doing this week. So this week, we are going to be doing a monthly budget. So a budget is something that helps us to keep track of how much money we have coming in and how much money we have going out to make sure that we actually can live the life that we want to live, right? And when you get your first job, your first career that you start, you will be getting a salary, right? You'll be getting paid. And you will be using that money to pay for rent, food, any things that you, bills that you have, utilities, right? Electricity, if you have a cell phone. You will not be hopefully living at home, right? Because your parents have been taking care of you. But once you graduate college, now you have to take care of yourself. And you need to use the money that you make to be able to pay all of your bills every month and to save money and even to give money away, right? To help support other people. So we're going to be going through a monthly budget for our lesson this week. And then we're going to use it to help us, to help you guys to see what it really takes to, be independent, right? To be on your own because you're growing up. I mean, you're in 8th grade, but still you're going to be in 4 years you have of high school. Then some of you may go to college, some of you may not go to college. Maybe you'll do a different type of training to be able to start your career. So we don't know. Everybody has a different plan for their life. So let's start here. So everybody's going to get this Excel sheet. And what I want you to do is I want you to copy and paste it into a Google Sheet. So I already opened up a Google Sheet here. I want you to copy and paste it into a Google Sheet. Why do I want you to do that? I want you to do that because we're going to use Google Sheet. So click here, do copy, then open up a new Google Sheet, click here in the corner and do paste, and then allow it to paste. I want to do a new Google Sheet because it's easier for everybody, because not everybody has Excel on their computer, and then it's easy for you to share the file with me. So then I want you to name yours monthly budget. Okay, name it monthly budget. Put your name here, and then put the career that you chose last week. So I'm just going to use computer hardware engineer, but you can use the career that you chose, okay? Because we're going to use that for our budget, pretending that this is our job when we graduate college, okay? So we're pretending with this example that we're a computer hardware engineer. So what we're using is we're using our ONET website. So remember ONET? We did it last week. So the job I chose is under science and technology. It's computer hardware engineer. So here it is. And we looked at the technology skills. This week, we're going to look at the education that you need, your salary, and then we're going to take a look and think about where you're going to be living when you're doing this job. So I'm going to pretend, because I want to fill in my monthly income, I'm going to pretend Let me go down. If you click here to wages and employment, it'll take you down to how much you get paid. I'm gonna pretend I'm still living in New York. I'm gonna put in the zip code here of the school, pretending I'm still living in this general area. And now it's gonna take me to a page and it's going to give me about the average salary for this position. So in the New York, New Jersey area, it's about 118,000, 117,000. So let's just say that's about an average for this job. Okay, so we'll put that in. So we're going to go back to our sheet. So 117,000. 117,000 is the yearly. So to get the monthly, you have to divide by 12. So remember, with Google Sheets, you can use formulas. So if I did 117 and I do the division is a slash here by 12, and then I press enter, you have to do equals 117 divided by 12, press enter. 9750 would be my monthly income. So I could actually change, if I go to, let me see, I want to format. You can always format and add in the dollar sign. So if you want to do that. So just to make it look like, where is it? Hang on a minute. Let's move this over here. Okay. Conditional formatting. Actually, gosh, I forgot where it was in here. Okay, I'll find it in a minute. Let me just keep moving forward. I was just going to make it say 9750. Okay, so 9750 is our monthly income. Okay, so that's how much we are making per month as a computer hardware engineer. So again, you have to do it for your job. Put in how much per month you're making for your job, because you're going to all have different jobs. Then we're going to go down the line here. So if you are a Christian and you follow what the Bible says, that 10% of your income should get tithed to your local church, whatever ministry that you are receiving the word of God from. For in this case, this person would pay $975 a month. They donate. And then if you also have the giving heart, you may give an additional amount every month. So I'm just going to put 100, but you can give as much as you want. Okay. And then let's put our total here. Again, if you want to use the sum function, you can always just go to insert function and then do a sum. And then you can just highlight whatever it is that you want to get a sum of. Okay. So I'll just highlight these two numbers and press enter. So so my total giving is 1,075 per month. Now let's think about savings. Remember, you're on your own now. You want to save money for maybe buying a house, a car, I don't know, going somewhere. Let's just put in that you want to save $100 a month. And then what about an emergency fund in case, God forbid, something happens and you need extra cash? I just put 50. You could leave it if you want. And then retirement. This is when you're done working. Usually people retire in their 60s, 70s, and then they need some money to live off of. So they have to start saving when they're younger. Let's just say, because you make, $97.50, say you save $500 a month towards retirement. Okay. So now let's do a sum. So you're just going down the line here and you're filling in the chart. Sum of all of your savings. Okay. Now let's do household. So I put in some numbers and you guys can change them. But let me show you this other website that I have on here. So this is the cost of living website. So let's pretend that we're still living in New York because our job, we work in New York, right? So I'm just putting New York, New York. So this is going to tell you some average monthly costs for eating out at restaurants, going food shopping, different items, how much they cost in New York City, transit, like monthly pass, gas, utilities. So it's about $141 a month for utilities. Internet's about $64 a month. It gives you pricing for everything. So I'm just looking at apartment costs. So if you live in Manhattan, it says it's about $3,350 for a 1-bedroom. If you're out of the city, it's about $2,000 for 1-bedroom. So in my example here, I pretended, where am I? I pretended that I had a roommate. And so I pretended that my share of the rent was $1,200 a month because I had another person that I live with. So it was $2,400 for our 2-bedroom apartment. We each get a bedroom. And then I also said that we split the utilities, so I put 50. My cell phone, I use the Visible app. So this is a real plan. It's $40 a month for unlimited data. So you might want to get that for your cell phone. Internet, we're splitting the $60, so I put 30. Cable, if I don't want cable, so I'm going to delete it. But if you want to keep that, it's about $75 a month. And then I have renter insurance too. So my total household expenses, and you guys can change these numbers. I just put numbers in for this life that I made up, but you can do it for your life. Here's my total household expenses. Now I did go to college because if you check under my, go to education for my career, I need to have at least a bachelor's degree for mine. So it depends on your job. So what I did here is I put in the average monthly. So when you go to college, you have to take out student loans. And then when you're starting to work, every month you pay a student loan amount to pay your school back. So the average right now in the US is $393 a month. So I just put that in. So just keep it. If you're planning to go to a 4-year college, just keep it in there. If you're not, just delete it. But I would say just keep it because that's about the average cost of college. And it can be more if you're going to medical school, law school, if you're going to a private university, the cost will obviously go up. Okay, so now you have to think about it. Are you going to have a car? So I'm not going to because I'm using mass transit. So I don't have to worry about my car insurance, or my gasoline, or my maintenance. I just need to worry about my Metro card because I'm taking the Metro. And also I might use car services sometimes. So that might be my expenses. So you guys can fill in if you're planning to have a car. I just put an average car payment. So you could leave the amounts or you could delete them, okay? Then moving down to food and entertainment. So groceries, household, eating out, concerts. I plan to do most of my food shopping. So I just put an average monthly cost for maybe one person of buying groceries. I just put $200 a month. You could be thrifty, it could be less. Maybe you buy specialty foods and it's more. Household items like toilet paper, paper towels, I put $50 a month. So you could leave my numbers or you could change them. Eating out, maybe I go out to eat like once a week or twice a week. So I put $50 a month. I'm not really going to any concerts. I'm going to delete that. Music streaming, if you have like Spotify, it's usually about $10 a month. Games, I don't really do that, but you can put your cost. I'm not going to sporting events and I'm not joining a gym. You put in the ones for you, okay? So my total expenses for this category, I'm just going to add them up. I'm spending $310. Now think about your personal items. How much money per month will you spend on clothes? What about haircuts? What about cosmetic items like hair gel and stuff like that? You can think about how much you spend. Now I put in some average maybe things here. So you could leave mine or you could put your own in there, okay? Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna do a sum. And then now I'm gonna put my total income. I'm getting my $97.50. My total expenses are going to be the total expenses here. So let me do equals, and I'm gonna do this one plus the total food and entertainment plus my transportation plus my education plus my household plus my savings, and then I press enter. So this is my total expenses. So my discretionary would be the $97.50 minus how much I'm spending every month. So I have left over $6,721. So I might want to increase my savings, my retirement, because I have money left over. Maybe I have other things that I need to do with the money. Maybe I want to donate more of my money. So this is a good way for you guys to see that somebody that's a computer hardware engineer, remember, this is a really good salary because tech jobs pay a lot higher. If I were to fill this in, for example, and gosh, I hate to say this, but teachers, for example, they don't make as much as technology people. So if I went back to here and I said, I'm going to look up in the section of education and I'm going to see how much a teacher makes. And then I'm going to put in the salary. Maybe it would be a little bit less, like, let me just pretend I'll put in like preschool teacher. Let's take a look at the salary there in New York. So we're talking about 39,950, 38,000. So 38,000. So that's a pretty big, decrease there. If you went and did your budget here and say I put preschool teacher 3,800, then I'm talking, look how much I'm spending, 3,029, and I'm just about making it with that salary. I'm not going to have a lot left over. So you want to think about your career, how much you're making every month and how much you're spending every month. And we want to see that this discretionary amount, it should not be a negative number. If it's a negative number, it means that your income is not enough or your expenses are too much, right? And so you need a balance, and you need preferably to have money left over every month. You don't want to be living month to month where you don't have anything left. So that's why we're learning about budgets, because be thankful right now. Think about your parents. They go to work every single day to pay for you to come to school here, to pay for all of the activities that you do. And that costs money, right? So you guys have to think, when you graduate college, you have your first career. Will you be able to have a budget where you can support your lifestyle, right? So your assignment this week is to take your career that you chose last week, find it in ONET, and then fill in the monthly income for that career. So put your name, the name of the career, the monthly income, and then go line by line and fill in the numbers for the sheet, okay? And then calculate your total income, your total expenses, and what's left over. And then share it with me, because I want to take a look at everybody's budget and see what your life is going to look like when you're graduating college, and make sure that you guys are able to have a really good plan with your budget. And it really opens up your eyes, right? To see, wow, it is pretty expensive, right? And maybe you might choose to live in a different city. Maybe you don't choose New York. Maybe you choose a different city. Maybe you're going to move and the cost of living is cheaper there. So you want to think about that, where you're going to live. So actually, we should probably put that. So let's just say city I will be living in, and I'm just going to put New York here. But I want you to put the name of your city so we can be able to see, a computer hardware engineer in New York, they do need to make a lot of money, right? Because the rent is expensive, everything's expensive. But maybe if they lived in a smaller place, smaller city, but they wouldn't need as much money, right? So I'm going to email you the Excel sheet. You could copy and paste it into a Google Sheet and then rename it monthly budget, and then share it with me after you're done filling out all your numbers. And don't forget, use your function. So you can use the sum function to calculate any of the different things when you're adding them up. Okay? All right, guys, so have fun with this. Hopefully it starts to open up your eyes to your future, and just getting you guys to start thinking about what your life is going to look like if you really do choose the career that you chose from the lesson last week. All right, guys, so we'll see you next time. All right, bye.